live on a Thursday, and partner, we just keep creeping closer and closer to the start of week 1 for the Ravens. Week 1 of this NFL season begins tonight, so looking forward to actually sitting down and watching some football. But we are gearing up for week 1 from a Baltimore perspective. It's Bills, it's Ravens, it's Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. And with that, welcome inside the vault for a Ravens Lunch Hour live stream. I'm Bobby Trossett. This is Sarah Ellison, and it's brought to you by our friends at Primary Residential Mortgage. A lot of you have already entered into our giveaway that we're doing this month, courtesy of PRMI and the folks at Fanatics and Baltimore's team store. It's $100. That's what we're giving away. It's a complete gift card for you to go and trick out your merch collection, and you can enter in. We'll tell you more about the details in just a bit. But for now, if you want to get a head start, go click on the link that's included in the show notes. There's also one as a pinned comment in the live chat. Sarah, we got a lot to get to because press conferences were held yesterday, and now it begins, right? Wednesdays, typically for Sunday games, are the headliners behind the mic, and that was exactly the case for the Ravens yesterday and for the Bills, because Josh Allen spoke, and he spoke glowingly in what became a viral comment, Sarah, on Lamar Jackson. Of course, these two always in the social media circles, much maligned together. Almost folks want to pin them up against one another. And then each time these guys get behind the mic, inevitably, you end up being like, wait, these guys are actually awesome in their own rights. And it's hard to hate each one of them from respective fan bases. So we'll get into what Josh had to say, what Lamar had to say. He wasn't asked about Josh specifically, but had some interesting comments getting ready for this rematch. And outside of that, Manti Te'o drew up a Dream 8 scenario for Lamar and the Ravens over these upcoming seasonal months. Mark Andrews addressed the elephant in the room. The Ravens got great news on Jair Alexander. And again, take your pick. Lots to get to. It's great to see you. Happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday to you. And you're right. Probably because of the MVP competition last year, they are pinned up against each other, and it's too bad. I feel like I come across that way to Bills fans too, that like I don't like, Allen, or don't think he's a good football player or anything like that, just because I'm fighting so hard for Lamar to be that MVP. And I think just because of the way the voters voted Lamar as, the first team All-Pro, but then gave the MVP to Allen, that's what caused so much controversy. If they just straight up said, okay, it's Allen, there probably would have been less controversy. Still some debate for sure. But as much as each fan base or the media or whoever fight for one or the other, you're right. It's too bad it gets lost that both of these guys are great guys. They're both drafted from 2018, both in the first round, both keep trying to get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl and then hopefully win it, but they can't get out of the AFC. And so while like Lamar has said in the past, not like they're super good friends, right? It's not like they really run in each other's circles. Like the only time they really see each other is when they play each other. Yeah. That being said, what a healthy respect that they have. And so when Josh Allen was talking about Lamar, he basically talked about how he feels like he needs to play defense himself by not letting Lamar get the ball in his hands. Showed a lot of respect yesterday for number 8.
And I think it's a chance to go out there and to win, you got to play at your best. When you're going against a quarterback that's great, you talk about Lamar. He's one of the best players to touch the grass, honestly. And you can't give him more opportunities than he needs. You can't give him short fields. He'll take advantage of those. So being on the top of our game on the offensive side of the ball and doing everything that we can, and we don't play on the offensive side, we don't play the quarterback. We play the defense and the defensive coordinator, and just doing everything that we can to really help our defense out.
And yeah, that has to be the game plan. Like that's got to be the entire NFL's game plan. You don't want the ball in Lamar Jackson's hand. But I loved it. He's like one of the best players to ever touch the grass, one of the best players ever. And so, yeah, he's got to do his part in trying to keep the ball out of Lamar's hands. But to be honest, Bobby, the exact same thing can be said about Josh Allen. Why wouldn't the Ravens game plan be to control the clock, use the run option between Lamar and Derrick Henry, use play action off of that, and just put together some of those 5, 6, 7, 8 minute type drive. And so you're just milking the clock. Why wouldn't both sides try to do that to the other? So I love the respect from Josh Allen there. It's reciprocal. We remember when Josh Allen and the Bills beat the Ravens last year in that divisional game. Lamar was awesome to him. Lamar, was heartbroken over that loss, but he was all class afterwards with all of his teammates, but including his opponent. When they went up to each other and hugged each other, he said, go all the way, go do something with this. You're going to knock me out, go all the way. And so I just love the respect that they have for each other that like you said, gets lost in all the debate about who's the better quarterback.
I think this photo right here kind of illustrates what you just got at. I mean, how gracious Lamar was in defeat, and the pure almost happiness that his face shows right here, even though internally, to your point, the heartbreak that he and Mark and everybody within that locker room was absolutely, inevitably feeling in that moment. I just think it tells you all you need to know about Lamar Jackson, the competitor, Lamar Jackson, the human. What a moment of grace in this photo. But, I think comments that Lamar's made in the past, based on scrolling through some of my mentions when I tweeted out that clip from Josh's press conference yesterday, it reminded me that I think some of his comments in the past on he's not friendly with quarterbacks, right? He doesn't want to be friends with the opponent. I think some of those comments can be misconstrued by the opponent, by the opponent's fan base. And instead, I think in Baltimore, we see that as just a fierce level of competition, a preference, and a privacy that we know Lamar has built his career and reputation on through 7 years in this league. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have respect for these players. And I think there can be sometimes that gets a little murky for other fan bases. And I'm not saying entire fan bases. It's always a small percentage typically, right, within the social media sphere. And
I think a good way to describe it, I don't mean to cut you off, is Lamar keeps his circle small. He's not like, what's an extreme example? Like Rob Gronkowski, right? Who just is a party wherever he goes. And he's just going to, link up with whoever, whenever, just to have a fun party and this and that. Lamar's not like that. And so it does get misconstrued if you don't know him, where it's just like, yeah, Josh is cool. Like, when I see him, we're friendly, but like, he's got the smallest circle that you can have. That's all he wants. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was trying to help give those words to help describe his personality.
Yeah, no, it's appreciated. It's just his way of doing things. And he is an enigma in a sense for 2025 when you look at the way some of these other players act on and off the field with their peers in this case. And he was asked, by the way, if he was disappointed that he didn't win last year's MVP, because Sarah, a lot of this has to do with what have you done for me lately. Both of these players had spectacular seasons. Lamar obviously had the more spectacular statistical season last year. And we know just how historic it was. And the MVP goes to Josh. And a reporter asked Lamar, he's like, I don't think anybody's ever asked, like, were you disappointed that you didn't win the award last year? And you transcribed part of what he had to say. Sarah, yesterday, I think there was a concerted effort made by Lamar, by Mark, and maybe even by John too. And maybe even Roquan, who's been known to say some things that light up the headlines, to just kind of keep it business-like going into this rematch, because there was not a lot yesterday that was headline worthy, if you will. And this one was one of those examples. Lamar was like, look, the voters chose who they wanted. It is what it is. And that was basically it. A Bill Belichick answer, if you will.
Oh, Lamar is definitely like, at like just a blink of an eye, snap of the finger. He just went into in-season mode when he was at the podium. Like he just doesn't care to talk. He doesn't care to talk. And I told you that John Harbaugh went into in-season mode when it comes to injuries. Well, Lamar went into his pressure in-season mode, where it's just like, you're not literally getting anything out of me. Like, Did I watch tape on the Bills when he was asked? Yeah, I watched tape because I have to, because it's film, but I didn't you know what I mean? Well, what did you learn? That we have to be better in a lot of areas. Like he was just like trying not to be a jerk, but just like was not giving them anything. And so he's like, yeah, the voters chose who they wanted. And, you know, and that's what's just so crazy. And really like I was saying before, because I went into that Bills podcast that you highlighted yesterday, and I finally went back and read some of the comments, and much love to all the Ravens fans. You guys are awesome to follow me over there. Put, you know, supportive comments over there. But obviously all the Bills fans were not very happy with me. And they brought up the MVP chatter again. And like, again, the controversy comes from in 2023 when Josh Allen could have won it, but he didn't. Lamar had 49 votes and Josh Allen had 1. Last year, Lamar had, let me make sure I get this right. Lamar had 22 votes and Josh Allen had 27. And 7 people flipped their votes after they gave him the first team All-Pro at quarterback. So that's where the real controversy comes in. But listen, Lamar clearly doesn't care, which is great because he only cares about the Super Bowl. That being said, I do care. And I do hope he wins MVP again, but only if he's worthy of it. And meanwhile, Manti Te'o seems to care. And Bobby, this clip is absolutely hilarious. He put together some magical Manti math to show why Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP in 2025. I hope everybody can just have fun with this. For copyright purposes, I will run the video. It'll be mostly audio. There'll be a couple of screen grabs over it. This had me rolling. Let's go, Manti Te'o.
It's also an acronym that we as society like to use to describe somebody who's the greatest at what they do. That's the GOAT. Now, my 2-year-old son, Cairo, if you ask him, Cairo, what sound does the GOAT make? Cairo's going to say, bah.
Yeah.
Now, that word in the Chinese language is Chinese for the number 8.
No way.
Now, why is that so significant? In Chinese culture, the number 8 is looked at as the luckiest number in their culture. It is held at such high regard that when the Olympics was in Beijing, and it started on August 8th, 2008.
Sure.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Specifically at 8:08 p.m.
Awesome.
Now let that sink in a little bit. 8:08 p.m. Now you may be asking, Manti, where are you going with this MVP talk? Are you saying that the MVP is lucky? I'm not saying the MVP is lucky. Why? Because he didn't need luck when he won the Heisman. He didn't need luck as a multiple-time MVP. But there's something about this number.
Okay.
Something about this number that relates my MVP to this year. I got it. Did you know that the Super Bowl this year is on February 8th, 2026?
I like it.
My guy was drafted in the year 2018.
Sure.
Specifically, the 32nd overall pick, which is, if you know math, a multiple of the number 8. And if you do the math here, 26 minus 18. He's in his 8th year, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Nah. Prophetic? Maybe. Because if you believe that this is the year of the GOAT, the year of Ba, or the year of number 8, it is all synonymous with one guy.
Let's go!
Soon to be 3-time MVP.
Another
Lamar Jackson! You get the picture? I'm out. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bobby, our guy couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe throughout the segment, which is usually Kyle. What's Kyle's last name?
Brandt.
Brandt. It's usually his thing when he does angry runs, and now Manti Te'o's bringing the same thing. Listen, any number he could think of that had the number 8, you know he was putting it in there. He's drafted number 32. It's like, yeah, that's not number 8, but it's a multiple of 8. Like, just any way you can get the number 8 in there. That was hilarious. Not to be undermined by the fact that, yes, he does indeed predict him for real as the MVP this year. I will be nervous about Joe Burrow if they make the playoffs. I just don't see any way around if they make the playoffs, how they won't give it to Joe Burrow. But that was a hilarious segment.
The articulation that went into that, the timing, the pace, the polish of that segment, that was big time. I mean, it's almost as if he was on a timer, you know, like good stuff there from Manti. And it kind of feels like this is the new like play on numbers. Remember last year, Sarah, it was like, oh, you know what? Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Okay. They won their first Super Bowl in 2000. They then won their second Super Bowl in the 2012 season. Last year was the 2024 season. There's been 12, 12, 12. That didn't happen. So now it's the play on 8 instead of 12. So there you have it. You can hang your hat on that should you want to.
And we'll try to get different numbers next year if needed.
Right? Exactly. I'm sure you can find them. And here's the whole panel's Super Bowl predictions in terms of who's going to end up in Santa Clara and who's going to win in Santa Clara coming up in February. And like you mentioned, Manti's got a Ravens win over the Rams. Jamie, Kyle, and Axel, you can see who they went with. None of whom went the Ravens, but Manti did.
Well, so Lamar was asked, like, are you aware of how many people are picking their Ravens to win the Super Bowl? Because there's a lot. There's a lot. There's always been a few every year, but it feels like more this year. And so Lamar, once again, in his in-season form, was downplaying everything, but I think he's correct in this one. And he's like, nah, we got to win our games. We got to focus on Buffalo right now. We can't peak too soon. It's extremely early to be thinking about the Super Bowl. And that's how you have to look at it with blinders on as a player. This is what media get to do. This is what fans get to do. This is like prediction season. But for them, they have to have blinders on. They have to be laser focused. They have to be locked in, one opponent at a time, one game at a time, one practice at a time, one meal at a time, one work at a time. That's the way you got to do it. And then have this crescendo and build up, like he said, to be peaking right at the exact time.
Yeah, and a similar approach was taken, as you also transcribed here, just leading into the rematch, right? He was asked how much he watched. You referenced this earlier on in the show. The Ravens playoff loss, even though, 2 games that you could go off of last year, right? The thumping week 4, and then, of course, the heartbreak in the divisional round. But he was asked specifically about the loss, of course. There's always something to learn from that. And Lamar said, I can't count, just watching film a lot, but me just going back to see a loss. As if to suggest and he's shaking his head no, right, as you noted here, but as if to say look, I didn't go back to harp on it. I went back to learn on it.
Right.
And that's all you can do, because you can't go back and change the result, obviously. And then the follow-up was, what's the key, right, winning in Buffalo after losing there in the postseason. And he's like, look, don't turn the ball over and finish drives. And we're all like, yes, that's what we've been talking about. How about eliminating the penalties and also maybe having some help from your defense to take away the football? So, look, nothing groundbreaking there. It
really is that simple. Do what you guys have been doing, but eliminate the turnovers. It's really just that simple. Yeah. He's absolutely right there. And then we'll get to Mark Andrews in just a second, but I want to showcase a couple of other times when Lamar Jackson was not trying to give the media anything. They try to use the fact that Josh Allen had a contract and they're about to play a contract extension this offseason. And they try to use that, since he's about to play against Josh Allen, as a way to get him to talk about it. Lamar was shutting down all contract questions during training camp, let alone now that we're in season. Here we go.
You're under contract for the next couple seasons, but you're extension eligible. Josh Allen signed an extension this offseason. Did you look to sign an extension at all this offseason, and is it possible you do it this year?
I think I tell y'all this all the time.
There's no one to ask.
It's for I hear that. But it's season here. I'm not worried about that. You were better off asking that during camp. So, but I'm locked in, man. I'm ready for the season to start. That time will come.
So there will be no deal once the season starts.
So what would that answer?
The season here. I'm looking forward to the season.
Lamar, so you have.
Okay, I do respect the reporter's follow-up, I got to say, because Lamar did at one point said, I hear that. It's a reporter's job. It's Lamar Jackson. Eric DaCosta has said several times that he's been working with them on a contract extension. It's probably the last time you're going to ask about it. It's just right before the season starts. To Lamar's point, they did ask in training camp. He shut it down then too, which is his prerogative. But the reporters have to ask it. And the follow-up was kind of funny to me. It's he's just trying. I can just hear his bosses being like, you got to get this in. Whatever he answers, you got to get this in. So he's just doing his job.
Yeah, I thought it was cool on both ends. Lamar had a little bit of fun with it. Now, granted, if he gets asked again next week, then it's probably not going to go too well for the media. But of course, they have to ask it. It's now's the time to ask, and then
It's the last time.
You're going to respect his wishes from here on out. And hey, who knows? We know they work in silence, Sarah, and he and Eric DaCosta have that incredible rapport when it comes to the challenging framework of this without traditional representation. So who's to say this isn't going to get done between now and kickoff? There just has been nothing on it, which you wouldn't expect anything on it because it's between the two of them and they do that at an elite level. So we'll have to wait and see. But, look, that's the way he handled his business during his press conference. As I alluded to a few minutes ago, Mark Andrews, Sarah, had the
before you get to that,
on
can we get to one more?
Yes.
Sorry, there's just one more Lamar clip.
I forgot. I show Speed or whatever the hell his name is. He's got over 40 million subscriptions, an insane account. Yesterday we checked in on him and he had over 30,000 watching his live. So let's cut to that.
Okay, this is hilarious to me because this is the one question or the one topic that Lamar, maybe not the one, but one of the few that Lamar was willing to talk about, and it brought out his fun personality. But the way it was phrased, check out his double take when he was like he was like smiling, ready to talk about I Show Speed. But the way a question was phrased, he like did this double take that had me rolling at home.
Speed, the guy.
Yeah.
How was that experience? And he really challenged you for
he didn't really challenge me for no sprint, man.
Hold on, that was like one of those. Who was it? Orlando Brown Jr. Remember he did a double take. That's kind of what that was there.
He really challenged you for
he didn't really challenge me for no sprint, man.
Like he just pauses.
Oh yeah, so you're referencing the classic GIF, right, of Orlando and Lamar on the preseason sidelines. It would have been like 2018 or 2019, somewhere in there. Yeah. And Lamar whispered him something, and Orlando.
No, Orlando Brown whispered something to Lamar.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
So
and
Lamar's
then whatever Baby Zeus said, Lamar gave the classic like double take. Yep,
for sure. Okay, I'll let it roll. But that was like he's about ready to answer, then he pauses and he's like, "What? He didn't challenge me to a sprint."
No, but man, he dope, man. He's a dope guy, man. And very exciting. A lot of energy, man. It was a lot of fun to go out there and have fun with those guys. Him and the high schoolers. Yeah, it was dope, man. It was a dope experience for me because I really don't be on stream, so that was my first encounter.
So would you really recommend him to be a part of the Ravens?
I don't know. It's different when you're getting hit with pads on. I like what he's doing. I want him to be safe. I don't need him to get hurt out here with us. Let us do all that.
You just go keep running. You don't want to get hit. Don't do any of that.
No.
So anyway, sorry, but I just wanted to finish that up before we got to Mark.
No, it's okay. It's in the rundown. Should have been on top of that. But just to finish up the offensive side of yesterday's press conferences, look, as we've both alluded to now, the blinders are on. These guys are dialed in. It's tunnel vision from here on out. And the same could also absolutely be said for Mark Andrews, Sarah. I felt a certain edge to him yesterday, to be quite honest with you. He seemed as if he was... Well, I'll give those thoughts in just a second. Let's get into the transcription that you have here first and foremost, because obviously the elephant in the room was going to be addressed, and it certainly was. He was asked about how he put his performance in that Buffalo loss behind him, and of course the famous drop, the infamous drop. And he straight up said, hey, quote, "I'm a pro. This is what I do. This is my entire world. It's about focusing and doing my job." Lamar was asked on what he expects from Mark heading into his return to Buffalo, where this fateful night went down. And he was quoted for saying, "The Mark that we always get, a guy who loves football, a guy who is eager to win, the same guy, nothing has changed." And so while I don't believe anything will change in terms of his play, Sarah, I think he's going to channel this frustration, channel this emotion for the better. I got to tell you, he seemed as if he was not over what happened, to be quite honest with you. That was my takeaway from yesterday's press conference. It was written all over him. It's not just the shortness and the succinct and the concise way that he answered his questions. It was his demeanor and body language. He seemed really on edge yesterday. And my hope is, and I'm not blaming him for that if that's the case internally for him. I'm sure it's been a loud offseason for him and his group. And as he said, Sarah, many times this offseason, he kept his inner circle close, and those around him helped him through those dark times. My hope is that he responds to some of those feelings, those emotions, that pressure maybe that's building leading up to the return in the right way, and it ends up in a productive fashion for him on the field. We've just never seen him have to battle this kind of demon that's followed him for 6 months.
Yeah, right. And it's almost like every single time he does an interview or anytime he's at podium, obviously this question comes up. So this is his chance to have those questions shut down. The only time, I mean, if he does play well, it will shut it down unless they meet the Buffalo Bills again in the playoffs. Then it'll probably come up again because it's kind of like what we've said. You can't really exact revenge as a team in week 1. Same thing goes for Mark Andrews. Like, you can get a morsel of like redemption, but he'll get full redemption if he were to play successfully in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Especially if they meet the Bills again. But yeah, when he just said, I'm a pro, this is what I do. This is what I'm supposed to do. I also get the feeling, Bobby, that yes, he really wants to just slam the door shut on that last game. But I also get the feeling that just like all offseason, his team has rallied around him. Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, Charlie Kolar, all sorts of people have rallied around him. So it wouldn't surprise me. You remember that clip? There was a wired clip where somebody told Lamar, "Oh, I'm about to break 1,000 yards." It might have been Zay. And so Lamar audibled to something to get Zay his 1,000 yards. I believe that was in one of the or Zay maybe told that story on the lounge. I'm trying to remember where I heard it. And so Lamar's aware of those things, right? He wanted to get Zay his 1,000 yards. Lamar is so aware of people like me, right, who have called out Mark Andrews, and he wants to help him. And so I think Lamar's going to give him the opportunity. I think the opportunity is going to be there for Mark. So it's just a matter of him seizing the opportunity and doing exactly what he hopes to do and what you hope he does and what we all hope he does, which is at least get a little bit of a morsel of redemption until the playoffs come back around.
Oh, the beauty of it too is like, even without Lamar's like awareness that you're referencing here, which is absolutely a thing for his guys, for his teammates, what they're dealing with on and off the field. Oh, by the way, this is a dude that also logged 11 single season touchdowns for them last year, which was a single season personal best for him, even after a slow start and the car accident and everything that took place last year for him. So important to note that as we both know, he will continue to be a red zone threat and a key target for Lamar this upcoming season. And another one of those targets, Sarah, might have a big opportunity coming up on Sunday night. We'll learn more about Pat Ricard as the days get closer and closer to the weekend. But number 42 did not show up at practice yesterday, Sarah. We'll get into the injury report in full in just a bit and also give you an update and an encouraging one at that on Jair Alexander. But if Pat can't go, and he hasn't practiced since August 14th with what popped up on the report as a calf, you already know that the multiple tight end sets are going to be something, probably a lot of 12 personnel Todd Monken will be leaning into, I would think, because they want to get their ground game going and they want to get their tight ends involved. But I'm talking about Charlie Kolar. And Mark Andrews, boy, had some high praise for his teammate and peer in that tight end room. How about this quote that you also transcribed? He had an incredible camp, Mark says, on Kolar. It's like one of the best camps I've ever really seen by a player. He's a total stud. He's been balling out. He's going to have a big year. So one, obviously building up his teammate, but two, Sarah, some high praise for what he's seen from number 88 over the summer months.
Some high praise from Mark. I mean, that is high praise. One of the best camps I've really seen by a player, period. So that's big praise. And then also John Harbaugh had a lot to say about Charlie Kolar also.
Charlie, for sure. That's Charlie's been working hard, man. He's prepared like nobody else. I'm really feeling very blessed about that too, Jeff. That Charlie is with us because he's become an all-around tight end, and we expect him to play at a really high level.
John, obviously.
Like I said, we said Mark Andrews is going to have a lot of opportunity. Charlie Kolar from blocking, And then it's not only blocking though. I mean, he'll be called on a lot to do some blocking. He's a big dude, but but remember, we keep reminding people this. He came out of college known as a pass catching tight end. So I hope that the Buffalo Bills think of him as a blocking tight end and keep thinking of only Mark Andrews as that threat. And I promise you, one or two times they're going to lose track of Charlie Kolar, and he's going to get a big gain from Lamar Jackson.
Right? Oh man, it's a lot of fun thinking about the opportunity that you hate to see when guys get opportunities due to injury, but that's just the name of the game in the league. And if 42 can't go, look out. Charlie, you're not the only. Mark and Pat and Isaiah, you guys aren't the only ones in the middle of contract seasons or going into contract seasons. Charlie is among those as well, and he's going to absolutely be looking to prove himself, even if it isn't in Baltimore next year. He wants to get paid elsewhere, and he'll absolutely have a chance to do that should he put up some numbers. Before we continue with the content, talk about quarterback rankings and Jair Alexander's encouraging news and a full injury report. This episode is brought to you by one of our newest sponsors, and you're probably pretty familiar with them if you've been following my content for the last couple of years. Primary Residential Mortgage is shifting gears over to us here exclusively on The Vault. We're very excited to have them. Whether you're buying your first home, looking to expand as your family grows, or maybe you just want to simplify now that you're retired. We have some retirees in here, right? Hopefully DHB Senior's retired at some point. He's 70 plus years old, still working like a dog, Sarah.
Yeah, what did he say? He's a civil engineering designer. Insane.
Yeah, he just can't give it up. He's like a Belichick Pete Carroll type, he just can't give it up. Anyway, these logos will be updated pretty soon here to reflect what we're doing inside the vault, but the Primary Residential Mortgage team will help you find the right financing options for you, and they can also help you access your home equity or save money through refinancing. So whatever your home financing needs are, they're here to help. And you are looking right now at our specific Vault landing page where you can easily contact them by filling out this list right here on the right-hand side, these small little answers. And if you want to apply and throw in an application, you just click that apply button and it'll take you over to a very quick pre-approval process and everything that follows there. Now, on top of this, being that it is week one of the season and they want to celebrate not only coming on over to the Vault, but also the Ravens getting back in action, we are doing a giveaway, as we've discussed a couple times here. It's a $100 gift card to Fanatics. That's Baltimore's team store. And all you have to do to enter is click on the link that we have included in a couple different places. There's one in the live chat as a pinned comment. There's another one in the show notes, or you can just hop on Instagram yourself and go to PRMI Mid-Atlantic. It's the first post. You can't miss it. And here's what you can do instructions-wise to enter yourself in. One, comment on the post with the hashtag Vault, as so many already have, Sarah. Several came in overnight. And all you have to do with that hashtag, just literally list off what your dream home looks like. For example, Candyland says, my dream home with the hashtag Vault is a 2-story home with 4 bedrooms and a state-of-the-art kitchen and a fenced-in backyard for my dog. Also a deck for my family to have get-togethers. Yeah. Can we get behind that, partner?
Absolutely. We can get behind that.
Look at all these. I mean, these are flying in. They're all officially entered into our giveaway. And so that's step 1. Step 2 is simply follow PRMI Mid-Atlantic on Instagram. Step 3, subscribe to the Vault. You probably already do. And then if you really want to go the extra mile, just click on this little Google form link right here. That's also in the show notes or in the caption. And that'll just allow you to throw your contact information in there so PRMI can easily contact you with your winnings if you do end up winning the giveaway. So thanks to PRMI for coming on over to the Vault with us, Sarah.
PRMI might be getting a lot of business pretty soon, because I keep reading out in the business world that interest rates could drop. The Fed could drop interest rates in September of 2025, which is now. And if that happens, watch out. People will be ready to buy houses or, like you said, refinance, all that kind of stuff. Anytime those rates drop, I'm always checking in on companies like PRMI. This year, it'll have to be them since they're an official Vault sponsor. Be like, hey, should we be refinancing over here with these dropped interest rates? So good company to keep in mind if they do drop.
I'll tell you what, too, there's a lot of folks within the Towson branch. And again, you don't need to be in the Maryland area, just to be clear, to work with Primary. They are nationwide. But in the Towson office is where, when I'm in the Baltimore area, that's where I'll show my face and hang out with a few folks there. We got some subscribers within that office, Sarah. Zach and Michael and Devin and others have really taken a liking to the content. And so we just want to shout them out and say thank you for all the support that they've been giving me and now us over the last couple of years. Well, DHB Senior is in the house, and you knew he would be here. An hour and 9 minutes prior to showtime, he gifted 5 channel memberships, so 5 new Voltrons. I will get a count before the show's over to see where we're at. So thanks to Douglas for his continued support. And he also loves Eric Hill, and we do too. We love ourselves some Eric Hill. And he's just acknowledging that Eric is in the house. And indeed he is, because right after that acknowledgement, he decided to match that 5 channel membership gift that DHB Senior got us started with. John R. is in the building with his classic super sticker. Thank you, John. And Sarah, that brings us to Sod Blitz, who's back today.
Sod says, Tom Brady said the same thing Lamar did. He said, Peyton is a good friend now, but when we were playing, he was my enemy, and I was trying to beat him. That's exactly how it needs to be.
No doubt. And another one from Sod says, the controversy is because Lamar had a much better season against much better opponents than Josh, and no argument for Josh holds up under any scrutiny. Joe Jenkins is in the house, gifting a 5-channel Voltron membership gift. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you. So,
These
man,
gifts going on right now.
15 already between Douglas, Eric, and Joe. So thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for being with us on this Thursday. And you already know who's here. He was probably here well before showtime, getting ready and gearing up for week 1. And that is Park Heights Prophet. Sarah, it's a $20 daily super chat from him with the orange banner attached.
So generous. 3 days and 7+ hours. I like how he has it down to the hour. He says, I'm working for the weekend and so ready to put my foot in the village of Orchard Park, like the Ravens will put their foot on the Bills. All the talk is about to be turned into action. LFG, hashtag 20-0, hashtag no picks.
And on top of that, as we're speaking about him, he throws in our 20th with a 5 spot, 20th gift of the day in terms of total Voltrons that are being handed out on this Thursday. We appreciate you guys. Gifts go so far because they go from a promotional standpoint and a growth standpoint. Think about it. We've got over 25,000 subscribers. There's 1,500 plus, Tila, at the moment concurrently watching. Not everybody can catch us live. And so those that don't catch us live, but then just randomly get a gift and become a Voltron, I mean, what a cool little method that is this new feature that we've rolled out. We appreciate you guys. And I know everybody else out there on the receiving end appreciates it even more. So thank you. Hayes0939 says, Lucas Scott could step in if Ricard doesn't play for Sunday, but Pat is a huge miss if not playing, but the Bills injury chart looks bad too. Or and staff need to prepare in case the Bills use 6 offensive linemen. We'll get a Bills update as well. I have that injury report for us. And Sarah, we will have Mike on from Buffalo Plus, who you had an opportunity to go on his show earlier this week. He'll return the favor for us coming up tomorrow for our official game preview, if you will.
Mike was great, by the way.
Yeah.
Like
Looking
really
forward
good.
to having him on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And you were as well. Like you said, there were a lot of people in the comments section that were appreciative of the time that you gave him. And we'll certainly be equally as appreciative of the time that he gives us coming up on tomorrow's show. Why don't you lead us into the latest quarterback rankings before we get into Jair Alexander's encouraging news?
Yeah, so the Ringer put together their quarterback rankings, but what's nice is it's not just like some it's more like along the lines of a PFF or other places that actually try to use grades. And so let me show you here. So what they do, let me blow this up because I'm having a hard time seeing it. There we go. What Steve Ruiz, am I saying that right, does?
Yep.
Is he has 6 different categories and he kind of grades them in each one. So there's timing, accuracy, arm talent, pocket presence, decision-making, and creativity. Then what he does is he uses those different categories and then he's got a weighted average for each one. Puts that together and that's how he comes up with his rankings. Okay. So where does Lamar Jackson rank in this whole thing? Number one. Now, Bobby, what I really like about kind of this pie chart, it's hard to see it because Lamar fills the pie chart out so much, but you have to imagine it like a target where you have obviously the bullseye in the middle, and there's kind of rings going out from that bullseye. And so the more orange that fills up the entire target, the better grade you have. And so you can see Lamar filling out almost all the rings, especially if you look at arm talent. He's almost to the edge. Pocket presence and decision-making, probably just one ring, maybe half of a ring. And then timing is the only one where he didn't totally fill up. He didn't quite even get to the last ring. Accuracy is right there. And then creativity, Bobby, he falls over the chart. He falls over the chart. And so I wanted to show you, after they do all this, their top 10. Okay. So Lamar, obviously number 1 here. Actually, would you mind going through the top 10? Because I want to go get the write-up that I forgot to grab. I want to read it in just a second. Would you mind doing that for me while I look up the write-up? Okay, thank you.
Sure. So, Lamar is atop the mountain. Patrick Mahomes at 2. Josh Allen 3. Justin Herbert sneaks his way in at 4. Joe Montana is going to love that ranking. Joe Burrow rounds out the top 5. Matthew Stafford still going. Veteran boy. Only probably a year or 2 left, I would think, in his career. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. He's at 6. CJ Stroud is 7. Dak Prescott is 8. Geno Smith, top 10 in their rankings list here, metrics-wise, at 9. And Jaden Daniels rounds out the top 10. So let's see. Who is outside this list that first comes to mind? Rodgers is outside this list.
I mean, I can tell you who else is.
Hurts is outside the list.
Yeah, so it is, let's see here. Oh, there's a lot of write-ups here. So the number 11 was Jared Goff.
Okay.
So he's outside. Jordan Love's 12. Then Jalen Hurts there is 13, the one that you kind of picked up on. Yeah. Then Kyler Murray at 14, which you don't expect them to be in the top 10. So as I'm scrolling, sorry.
Look at this comment right here.
What? I need Pervert TRT.
Don't we all? The Vault could use that, Sarah. Can we get in touch with somebody over there?
Seriously, man. It's I don't know how he makes it into all of these, but here's Lamar's breakdown. Each guy has like the one-liner that kind of is like a subtitle for it. They call Lamar a one-man starter pack for an elite offense. Oh, I love that. Here's the breakdown. Lamar Jackson is the best football player on the planet. He is not the best at winning Super Bowls, I will add, yet. But there isn't anyone better at purely playing the sport. At this stage in his career, his role in the Ravens run game almost feels superfluous. If Jackson didn't log another designed rushing attempt in his career, he would still be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. He's grown into one of the NFL's most gifted passers. Nobody's better at layering a pass over the outstretched arms of a linebacker. And don't let his effortless throwing motion fool you. Jackson can sling the football to any part of the field. He doesn't need a clear platform to push the ball downfield, but his scrambling puts the fear of God in opposing pass rushers who are afraid of allowing Jackson to escape the pocket. As long as that's the case, Jackson will enjoy extra time and space in the pocket, but I'm not sure he needs it. That is why people always say that he helps out the offensive line, right? He is putting the fear of God in pass rushers. Goes on to say, Jackson is the NFL's most efficient player under pressure. He can't be rushed into bad decisions, and he can make perfect throws while moving faster than most quarterbacks can run. And then there's the layer he adds to the designed run game. Defenses will always have to account for him in there, which limits their ability to focus on defending the pass. Most quarterbacks need a nurturing environment to lead elite offenses. Jackson creates that environment for himself and then takes full advantage of it. That was a nice write-up.
Yeah, that's nitty-gritty stuff, Sarah. I mean, good find. That's the X's and O's nitty-gritty stuff. I mean, getting into the analytical approach to these guys' greatness, which is not a bad list to be atop there for Lamar, which he is top ranked there, courtesy of Steven Ruiz and his analytical mind and all the parameters that are in place there. So good stuff. Thank you guys for being with us on this Thursday. Over 1,700 concurrents at the moment. About to give you an update on the entire injury scope through Wednesday. All right, leading into today, this afternoon, we'll get a Thursday injury report and then one more tomorrow now that we're officially in season. But before we do, we should probably get caught up on super chats that continue to come in. And we go back to Park Heights Prophet, who's not done yet. And he writes, don't forget Mike Green, 2 to 3 sacks on Sunday. I am calling my shot like Babe Ruth. Just let me know what time you need me on tomorrow. The streets need it. LOL. Hashtag 20-0. Are we having this guy on, or are we going to talk about a post show?
Well, whatever you want. You're like I know your show. You have like a lot of people on, right?
I do. Why don't I do this? PHP note reminder. I'm just going to go throw a little something in here, and you and I can talk about if we can fit that in tomorrow. Appreciate you.
But
we do have our Buffalo guest.
We do have the Buffalo guest.
Yeah.
My mom's calling me. I'm going to have to. She usually knows I'm live right now, but I'll text her.
You know what I would do for me, right?
You would answer it live.
I'd go Francis. So Francis,
live?
Tell me what your prediction is for Sunday.
Should I? Well, she's gone. I took too long to decide.
I love her. Absolutely love her.
All right, next time I'll answer it live.
What do I call her again? Grandma Sue? Is that what I call her?
Grandma Sue is what she likes. Yeah. Bobby, so quick side note. I've told you this already, but during the bye week, which I know you usually take off the whole first, usually you take off 2 weeks, right? But now you're just doing 1 week. We're going to have overlap we're going to need to take a day off because this October, my parents are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. And also in the month of October, my mom is going to turn 80. Also in the month of October, my dad is turning 89. So not like that big milestone of 90, but like at this age, every birthday you like celebrate and you're so grateful for. So anyway, they're doing their 60th wedding anniversary party during the bye week. It just happened to work out so perfectly. Yeah. My guess is she's calling me about that because, they're trying to put together all the details and whatnot. So I am eagerly anticipating that. Should be fun.
I'm so glad that you're going to have a chance to do that. I've gotten to know your parents virtually a couple times through, just through our StreamYard system. And they're just, really different people than each other, but that's why like opposite attracts. And
opposites attract.
Yeah, they're just opposites attract. They're just awesome people. They take such an interest in you and me through you, which is awesome. And I'm really glad that you're going to have a chance to get out there. So yeah, it's coming up too. I mean, it's an early bye week, as we know, one of the earliest we've had in recent years from a coverage standpoint. And to your point, I was actually going to mention this in quick hits, but I'll just say it now quickly. I'm going to Banff. I'm going to Banff, Canada with a college friend. Looking forward to doing some national parks and hanging out in the just sort of the wilderness, the outdoors side of things coming up in October. And so I just wanted to kind of throw a call to action out there. Like if you guys have done Banff, if you've done Jasper National Park, Banff National Park, anything within the Calgary, Edmonton areas, I would love recommendations, whether it be like lodging, different accommodations, different hikes, roads that I should be on. We're going to rent a car. So anyway, just hit me up on social media, email, whatever. I would love recommendations because we're starting to put together some last minute itinerary pieces. But shout out your parents and happy early birthdays to them because that's going to be a momentous. And by the way, this has been like the play on numerical digits this episode because Manti Te'o did the whole 8 thing. Right. They're celebrating, your parents are 60 years. Yeah. And my mother, as you know, in November is celebrating her 60th birthday and we're all getting together in Belize to treat her. So
that's awesome.
What a fun time,
Yeah, no, 60th anniversary, 60th birthday. I can put in the 8 in there though with their 80th wedding anniversary for Manti Te'o.
All right.
Just add that to the list.
Perfect. I don't know how I'm going to contribute 8, but I'll think about it.
You'll figure it out.
Anyway, PHP got us on a tangent. Thank you for all that. And October is going to be such a fun month. I'm excited about it. Tie my shoe, Sarah. This one's for you.
These quote unquote sports analysts are fake news, he says. They talk about QB head-to-head records as if there aren't so many factors going into their team's records and success. Have a great day. Ravens by 10. I like it.
Tie my shoe. That's one of my favorite handles on there because it's not spelled that way and it took us forever to figure it out. Tie my shoe. Yes, it's so good. Eric Hill is with us today, as he has been from the jump. And he writes, wasn't sure I was going to make the live today, so I left Sarah a favorite super chat last night. Cue the meatloaf. Wait, what?
What?
Hashtag 6K for LJ. Hashtag stop the 22 per day. That is suicides within the veteran community. Thank you, Eric, for calling that out. But what does he mean by this? Wasn't sure I was going to make the live today, so I left Sarah
maybe Sarah's favorite super chat.
Ooh, okay.
Which might be magenta.
Maybe that's still to come. We'll go. Oh, I think I see it. Okay, we'll get there. I reply to Dummies is in the house. Ma the Meatloaf. I believe this is Steve, and he writes, Ma the Meatloaf, and also celebrating 5 months of channel membership. Sod Blitz, Sarah, this one's for you.
Under pressure, Lamar is, I'm guessing his passer rating is 92.7. Allen is 72.1. Mahomes 67.3. Sod has all these numbers. I love it. But that to the point of like the Ringer quarterback rankings, they said Lamar Jackson is the best under pressure, and Sod is showing why.
You know it. You know it. Sod, he's always digging into the numbers. Always. And I think this is probably, and this is going to cue what I think a lot of you have been waiting for, and this will be my first cue, Sarah, my Meatloaf cue, that is, in my new place, which could be a little bit more echoey than the basement and certainly my studio back in Baltimore. But let's give it a shot, and hopefully Tilly doesn't fly off the couch in just a second here. But Eric Hill has gifted 20, count them, 20 channel memberships on this Thursday. It's a 20 spot for Eric. And it's a Mama Meatloaf for all you back home. It's okay, Tilly. It's a 20 spot for Eric. Dial it up.
Where's the meatloaf emojis in the chat? That's what we need. Yeah, because listen, magenta, let's think about this. Magenta is a $50 super chat. Gifting 20? That's like $100 super chat. Let's go, Eric.
It is, isn't it? It's a $100 super chat.
Yes.
Essentially. Yep.
But it's gift giving. We really need to make goals for the season on memberships. We need to have goals. Hey, just because it was like basically 2 magentas, should you do one more Mod the Meatloaf, or are you afraid for Tilly in there? Is she a little bit nervous?
She definitely got up and looked, and then she got back to her couch. She loves her wraparound couch, by the way. I do too. I haven't really crashed on it yet because this week's been insane. But let me just do this. Let me get a quick update on memberships, to your point.
Okay. All right.
We have our first Meatloaf out of the way. We've got 536 Voltrons to start this thing off with. And we had 15, I think, prior to Eric's, right?
I don't remember. There was a few.
DHB Senior got us started with 5. Eric then came in with 5. That's 10.
20.
Then Joe came in with 5. That's 15. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot PHP sprinkled in there. That's 20.
20.
And so we are at 40 channel membership gifts.
So Eric just matched all of those guys.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
You know it. And as a result, we're at 576 overall. But yeah, you're right. We got to have some thoughts about, oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, here we go.
The run is on.
Tilly's got to get ready. She's just going to have to get ready.
Oh, goodness gracious. You know, he's been, and you know what? He just hit the Discord group about this as well. And I can't remember what server it was in. Where is he? Yeah, Steve. Okay. He goes, I've had a long summer, but I will officially be at the Lions game and Chiefs game. I'm back in action. It's me, not a fan, who I think this is right here. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, if this isn't you, because your handle says I reply to dummies, but none of that matters because it's a 49 spot. And it's a Mama Meatloaf down in St. Pete. Run it up. Big season coming up for this show right here. You know that? It's our 4th season together. When these donations come in, I start to go gratitude. My veins are popping out of my neck because I'm a Pilates. You know, I'm a Pilates guy these days. You see this color right here? You guys see this? We work. We do 6 a.m. structures. You want to know why? Because I want to be behind my computer screen building out this company on a day-to-day basis. It's year 4, baby. They say we weren't going to make it to year 4, but we're here. We've been here, mother effers. Let's run it up. Whoa! Oh my! Whoa! Are you serious right now? Look at this. Are you kidding me right now? DJP, are you from the rooftops? And you want to know what? If it's going to be a rooftop 50 spot, I'm willing to give it to you. Hey, St. Pete, what do you say about these 50 burgers? It's a Mama Meatloaf times 50. That's right. Run it up. That's what we doing here. Who's going with us? Year 4 to the moon. DJP for the win.
DJP, that's like a $250 super chat, bro. What is happening right now?
that. He matched that.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Brother.
He matched it.
Oh, he matched it all right. That's what he did.
Bobby, come back.
Come here, Tilly.
Bobby, come back.
Come
Where'd
here,
you
my good
go?
little girl. Come on. Just show everybody what you're doing. It's
Okay.
All right. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
this
Oh
is not
my
a dog that
gosh.
wants to be picked up. But we're so excited. We are so excited because this channel continues to grow and I can get her good tweets and make sure she's kept and find a good vet down here. I love you. All right.
Oh, your throat has got to hurt because mine hurts just from laughing at your gratitude over there. The way you're displaying your excitement and your gratitude. You left us for a minute there. I didn't
Sarah.
know if you like ascended into heaven. Like what was happening?
Sarah, the problem is I haven't even acknowledged the match yet. There's 350 spots in here.
Is there any way for me to do Ma the Meatloaf without this going out, just so I can help you out? Let's just try, because you went really far away.
I don't know, but Tilly's eating her kibble for the first time today. Thank God, because it's impossible. She's like very anxious down here. So thanks to all the 50 spots, I think Tilly now feels inclined to eat. That's good news. But yeah, we got to figure out how, before we get back to the content here in the next like minute or so, we got to figure out how we're about to do this because we literally have 350 spots, one $50 super chat and 250 Voltron, which is like, how much is that? 50 times 5.
Yes, 250. We just got 2 of those.
Whew.
This is crazy.
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
I'm going to do a meatloaf for PHP. You tell me.
Right
what does this guy have to say? Bobby Wilden. I think dating a cougar is doing wonders for his energy level.
You guys are unbelievable, man. You guys are unbelievable. Sarah, before I lean on you, because I have to, because I'm like, I think I actually just like popped a blood vessel. But first, we have to acknowledge what just happened. Obviously, things got started with Eric Hill throwing in a 20 spot. 20 times 5 is 100.
Yeah.
50 times, and guys might be like, well, what does the 5 signify? That's the bare minimum for channel membership. It's $4.99 per month, right? So that's how we're getting that number in terms of investment. From there, Steve came in and was like, yo, I haven't been around for a minute. Here you go, Sarah. This is a 50 spot super chat just because I love you. DJP comes in, right? And he says, hey, I haven't made a live chat in a while. Been super busy. My heart is like racing right now. Y'all have been cooking though, and I couldn't miss out on the gifts. By the way, DJP, I believe, just brought a baby, meaning his missus just brought a new life into the world. So hopefully the DJP family are well and healthy and enjoying everything that's special about that. Eric Hill, Sarah, had this to say, and I'll let you take this before I continue.
Well, he said he had left a super chat last night. I've been driving a lot lately, so I couldn't interact in the chat. So I sent one last night for today's show. So, and if it was one that I like, which is magenta, then he probably sent one that was $50 last night, but it's just not populating for us to see.
This is insane.
The generosity and the excitement for Sunday night is through the roof right now.
DJP comes in and he's like, hey, yo, like, we're going 50. Well, guess what? The newest father, who's probably an all-star father, just threw a 250 spot monetarily down on 50 new channel members. So thank you to DHP and Park Heights Profit. The guy he gets FOMO. He gets FOMO.
He's like, let me get in on this.
I want in on it. And he decides to match that ridiculous gift of 50 channel members, 100 just within the last couple minutes. And then Joe Jenkins, Sarah, has gifted us a super chat reacting to my out-of-body experience. I'll let you take this so I can have oxygen for a second.
That's exactly what it was. It was an out-of-body experience. You left the show. He says, Bobby on the Vault just transitioned into Bobby After Dark. I love it. Is this what you do after dark?
I guess so. I'm going to do a lot more after dark. This should continue. Mike is celebrating 4 months of channel membership, which we're very appreciative of your commitment to the show. our man Mike, and he says we are back. The road to 20-0 starts Sunday night. Shout out to all the generous Vaultrons running it up with the membership gifting. Love the Vault fam, and obviously we echo those sentiments. It is a next level generosity that leads to next level gratitude on our ends, and man, it's all kind of building, Sarah. It feels like this is all building towards Sunday night, and we cannot say thank you enough. We'll say it until I literally lose oxygen. King James, Sarah, is back with another super chat, and then we will transition to content and get back to more of these when they inevitably come in afterwards.
We have the best listeners ever, the Vault listeners. King James says Lamar is already an MVP, already elite, already carrying a franchise, but the logic of, quote, he hasn't yet, so he never will, is just broken. Well said. # flock.
Oh, man. Appreciate you, King James, in the house, and appreciate all of you for spending some time with us.
Bobby, I think I'm interpreting Tila correctly, because you say the meatloaf, right? If she keeps putting in the chat buffalo, am I saying that right? What she's writing here? She wants a buffalo, meatloaf, meat, buffalo.
Okay,
buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Right, but I don't understand what she's trying to do. I mean, is that
we're playing in Buffalo,
right?
You've been using meatloaf. She's putting the meat is buffalo, ma, the buffalo.
Meaning they're gonna go like cook the buffalo. They're gonna go eat the buffalo. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be like, all right, well, how does this get back to the competitive spirit side of things? You know what I mean? Like, or are we just having fun playing on words?
Buffalo. We're cooking buffalo.
Oh man! All right. Well, with that, let's transition back to football content. We could talk about this forever, but in the spirit of timing, in the spirit of what else we have to give you, let's move forward. That was an unbelievable run, and we will get a membership count in just a bit here. And now I'm being called whack by Tila. Explain it to me like I'm a third grader, please, Tila, if you could. On the way in or on the way out, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, consider becoming a channel member. Apparently that's the theme of the day, or gift giving membership. You also visit, I'm literally like the inner parts of my underarms here from Pilates and CrossFit. What I just did with my vocals, like strained them for whatever reason. I'm feeling rather sore right now, but I'm willing to have soreness based on this channel's growth. So thank you, people. But pod.com/shop is where we have all of our merch available to you. We would love for you to get involved and grab yourself a piece of merch leading into this upcoming season.
I just want to say one more thing about this. PHP can come on. He's going to keep putting out $250 gifts. Yes, PHP, you can come on tomorrow. We'll figure out a way after maybe our Buffalo guest, and you just come in and just get this whole place riled up.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness. Anybody else that's giving out 50 or 50 Vault memberships, yeah, come on in.
Well, yeah, not that's like, not
it's
that we
not
do
the
that.
Gateway. No, it doesn't have to be the only way, but it's like, I mean, is there like just the supporters are just unreal.
Yeah. We obviously don't view that as like the floor or whatever in terms of the application process to come on the show. But like, if DJP and PHP want to come on and celebrate the weekend and week one and their unbelievable donation, then hit us up. And maybe we can make it happen tomorrow for like 5 minutes a piece after our Buffalo guest. So anyway, we're approaching 2,000 concurrents today. So we continue to grow, and we appreciate you guys for being with us on this Thursday. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And right now, Sarah, why don't we chat about the latest? Ravens cornerback Jair Alexander, Sarah, was brought in free agency, the latter half of free agency. And we all kind of said to ourselves, like, wow, this is a steal in terms of the monetary value. Team friendly, 1 year, good for Jair. He gets to potentially put good tape and hopefully healthy tape on film. And maybe he gets a chance to get paid in the offseason, whether it be in Baltimore or elsewhere. And then on the Ravens side of things, you're like, well, darn, if we can keep this guy healthy, which he wasn't able to do, unfortunately, consistently in Green Bay, especially in recent years, then we got ourselves a potential all-pro corner on the outside opposite Nate Wiggins, which would allow us to bring Marlon Humphrey in. Anyway, we haven't seen him in practice, Sarah. since August 9th until yesterday. And here's your injury report from Wednesday as provided by Ravens Productions. He did pop up on the list, but he was limited with a knee. It's important to remember that in early January or right around that time, he underwent a procedure for a torn PCL that ended his season in Green Bay and ended his time, really, just didn't know it then, as a Packer after they couldn't agree to a restructured contract. After Jair, and we're going to get back to him in just a second, Daniel Alele popped up on this list with an illness. He was limited. Isaiah Likely, of course, is a DNP in the aftermath of his foot fracture and the procedure that followed, despite all of his tweets suggesting that, perhaps his return is imminent. We'll see if he gets back to practice like you maybe predicted or at least suggested earlier this week. And Pat Ricard, who hasn't practiced since August 9th with what we knew as a soft tissue until we now know, courtesy of this report, as a calf, also popped up as a DNP. So one, your thoughts on Jair, and two, just this entire injury report as a whole.
Yeah, I wasn't super optimistic about Jair just because John Harbaugh was talking about how they wanted to he was like, hey, it's a long season. He's going to be chomping at the bit, but we have to protect him. So we'll see if he actually plays, but I think this is a sign that he has left the door open, whereas with Patrick Ricard and Isaiah Likely, it doesn't feel like that door. I don't know. I don't want to say it's been completely shut, but I feel like it's more open for Jair. And John Harbaugh was asked about all three. Like I said, he's in in-season form when it comes to injury stuff. So he said, quote, "We'll see," when he was asked about Jair Alexander's availability for Sunday. With Isaiah Likely, he tried to be more optimistic, which I think is just him trying to play chess. I do not expect Isaiah to play. He says Isaiah Likely, quote, "may be ahead of schedule and is going to start getting antsy to return." And then he declined to comment on Patrick Ricard. So, yeah, like I said, I think the door is wider open for Jair, a little bit more closed for the other two. But again, I'm sure before the end of the show, we will start getting the second day, meaning Thursday's practice participation. We'll see if anybody else has returned.
Yeah. And again, we can't reiterate it enough, right? The importance of Pat Ricard, but it's also a nice time, if you can't go, to know that you have the deepest tight end room, one of the deepest tight end rooms in the entire league. And as a couple of folks have already noted, and as we discussed earlier this week, they do have a fullback that could be a game day practice squad type of elevation. It's one of the undrafted rookies. It's Lucas Scott, who played his college football at Army West Point and was a former tackle too. So that'll be something to look out for. Sarah, on the Buffalo side of things, just so that we're being thorough, again, this is early in the week for injury reports, but Keon Coleman, their talented big body wide receiver that gave Brandon Stevens fits at times last year, sustained a groin injury. That was on Wednesday. That's also according to the official injury report that I'll pull up in just a second. Alex Brasky covers the Bills. He was deemed limited, as you'll see on the graphic that I pull up in just a second. And that also includes a couple other names, like wide receiver Khalil Shakir. He's got some big plays on tape. Ravens know him well. But here is the full list in total. Tyler Bass popped up. I believe they just signed a practice squad kicker too. I just saw that on the timeline not long ago. So we'll see what's up with Bass. He's got a left hip / groin designation, was limited. Christian Benford, their talented corner. He's also on here with a groin and was limited. Dwayne Carter with an Achilles, DNP. We mentioned Coleman. Khalil Shakir was a full participant dealing with an ankle. And Trey White, former Bill, former Raven, now back in Buffalo. He popped up with a groin. He was a DNP, and he also, Sarah, was somebody that the Ravens were comfortable letting walk in free agency after bringing him in really as a rental at the deadline last year, as we all remember.
Yeah, so I mean, when you kind of compare these two lists heading into week one, I mean, Baltimore obviously appears to be healthier. Not that they're 100%, but so Keon Coleman, that's a big one. That's a big one for it to kind of pop up. And then obviously their other wide receiver is fully practiced, but just listed with an ankle. And so it's interesting, Bobby, because you'll recall Marlon Humphrey throughout the offseason talked a lot about how he felt teams no longer feared the Ravens defense like it did in the past. Okay. If Jair Alexander can come in let's say he can play week 1. Like he's certainly leaving the door open. I get the feeling he is chomping at the bit to want to get in here and be a part of this rivalry and be a part of the comeback of the Ravens defense and the rejuvenation of bringing fear into other people's stadiums and being like, dang, how many yards are we going to get? How many touchdowns are we going to get? Are we going to get he's just such a boon with his energy and his play combined. And so he can help that resurgence, especially in the secondary. I mean, we're about to play Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen obviously can run. He's a threat in a different way from Lamar, but he's a threat where the Ravens defense has to worry about that. But remember, Ravens were number 1 in rush defense last year. They were number 31 in pass defense. Can Jair Alexander and all these other moves, Malachi Starks, putting Kyle Hamilton more in a position that, they like to move him around, all that kind of stuff. Can they start putting the fear back into them? Roquan Smith was asked about it, and he felt like what Marlon had to say, he felt like there was some truth to it.
Yeah, I think there is some truth to that, and I think it's more so about instilling fear into your opponents, and I think that just goes with the way you play ball, being relentless. Any chance you get to take a cat out, you take a cat out within the rules, obviously, but that's how you have to play and just play with an attitude. And I think we play with our edge and our attitude, play in, play out, and do to the best of our standard and to our standard, each and every individual that goes out there, and we'll instill that fear in the individuals. But it starts week 1. We have to show the world exactly who we are because we know who we are. So it's about showing it and not having self-inflicted.
Sarah, had he not slipped in within the rules, that would have been taken so out of context and run with until the cows come home from the Bills fan base and by every other fan base that would have gotten a hold of that. But I appreciated that way of answering something that in a lot of ways could have been taken personally. Not everybody in this building watches every single press conference. When Nnamdi Madubuike was asked a similar question earlier this week, he pushed back in a sense. He said, look, Marlon's entitled to his opinion, but didn't necessarily lean into that. Roquan took it on the chin almost and said, there's some truth to that, and said, hey, we do have to be better. We understand that. And I appreciated that. Not that I thought that Nnamdi overstepped by any stretch, but this was a refreshing answer to something that we know has plagued them defensively speaking when it counts in January, and certainly is an opportunity for them to help their quarterback and momentum shift more in big time games where the margin for error is so thin.
Yeah, I appreciated it too, because I mean, there's as somebody who just covered the more fearful version of the Ravens defense, we remember Tom Brady on his forearm had written fine number 20 on every single play. I remember Peyton Manning talking about the chess matches he'd have with Ray Lewis. These are the best quarterbacks of the time. And when you have fine number 20 on every play, that suggests that the Ravens defense induces fear. You don't see that kind of stuff. You didn't see that last year. Certainly, how can you induce fear when you're the number 31st ranked pass defense in the league? And so I think it is also good to kind of acknowledge it so that you can address it. If you pretend it's not happening, then you really can't address it. And so I appreciate that. And I've always liked the way Roquan talks. He's like, we got to take a cat out. If we got, if we can within the rules, it's sometimes we like to pretend that this isn't a violent sport. John Harbaugh just talked about it, I think a week or two ago. He's like, this is a violent sport. Lamar Jackson, I show speed. Don't come in here. You're going to get hit. Let us handle taking the hits. It's a violent sport. You have to do it within the rules. But sometimes we have to pretend that it's not. It absolutely is. And it's not for the faint of heart. You got to be unafraid in there, and the Ravens want to change that and make you afraid.
And we know where it starts, and Roquan said it himself, where it starts every game for this team, and where they pride themselves on. Stop the run. The Ravens gave up 147 rushing yards and 3 rushing scores to Buffalo in January, as Jeff noted here during Roquan's press conference. And we also know, again, what they did last year in the regular season, an NFL best 18.5%. That was their run stop rate, according to Next Gen Stats. It was elite, but it wasn't good enough when it counted. And you already know these guys are too prideful to forget what happened in that game, Sarah. And it starts with stopping James Cook. And of course, Josh Allen will kill you with his legs as well, with chunk yards, with his mobility, with everything that he presents as a dual threat quarterback. So, look, two massive keys, which are the low-hanging fruit elephant in the room. Stop the run and run the rock early, like they want to establish their dominance, just as they did on Sunday Night Football, Sarah, a year ago.
Yeah, and stopping the run is huge. Like, you always want to make your opponent one-dimensional. I'm just looking at the divisional round numbers now. James, I mean, there were so many guys that had, yards. James Cooks had 67. Ty Johnson had 31. Davis had 29, and then Allen had 20. They didn't even have to do too much because of all the turnovers that were going on that the Ravens were kind of gifting to them. But that's a lot of guys putting up some numbers. And again, like I said, Josh Allen, in a very different way from Lamar, can make you pay with his legs. He's going to bulldoze over you, right? And so you got to hit him and hit him hard so that he doesn't want to come and make that contact again.
Yep. Quick hits.
Let's do it.
We could also do super chats before quick hits since we're a little bit behind on them. What do you think?
Sure. There's just so many coming in. It's one of those days. It's contagious.
For real. We left off with King James, and Heather gets us started back up with an additional channel Voltron. We will get a count before we finish things up here. We started at 536. Last time we checked in, we were at 576. Thanks, Heather, for being here. Joe Jenkins, Sarah, celebrating 4 months of channel membership. And noticing some differences between, I guess, my channel and this one. I'll let you take this one.
He says, Bobby, because I know they're talking about Bobby After Dark. I know that it's a different show. Bobby keeps it respectful for Sarah, rightfully so. He just let his hair down, as it were, and went to the Bobby Baltimore channel mode. It's interesting, Bobby. I noticed the same thing. What's interesting is you and I have never had a conversation about this. You know what I mean? Offline. I've never come to you and said, Bobby, can we do it this way over here? And you've never come to me and said, hey, do you feel like I need a change for you? You just do it. And it's so, what's the word? I don't know. If you didn't do it, I wouldn't be mad because you're just being you. You know what I mean? But it's nice. It's nice that and I noticed the chat sometimes does the same. I've noticed super chatters try to edit their own curse words or whatever. And I've never asked anybody to do it. If you curse, then you curse, you know what I mean? And you do what you got to do. But I have noticed it. And I don't know what the feeling is. Is it gratitude? Because you don't have to do it, but you do. And it is appreciated.
Just think it's a simple commitment to the partnership,
Yeah.
A respect to the friendship, a respect to preference, lifestyle, everything that comes with that. And I think what Joe is probably just referring to, for those of you that don't catch me a lot over on my personal channel side, is I'll let a few tongue slips get in there, just word wise, curse wise. I'll tend to have a little bit of fun with trolls, maybe more so than we will. And ultimately, I got more time to kill when you're a solo host too. So things change a little bit there, and maybe it ends up being a little bit more of a interactive with the live chat type of experience when content is slow. But I appreciate Joe for recognizing that, and obviously more than appreciate you, partner, because it's a lot of fun to do this together now 4 years running. Heather McCubbins has gifted an additional channel membership, and she's been active the last couple of days, and she also updated, as we noted yesterday, updated that profile photo to a selfie. Thank you, Heather. And JL Green, Sarah, is in the house, and this one's for you.
He says, good afternoon, family. Bobby, excellent colored shirt. And Sarah obviously loved the blouse and matching lip gloss. You got the red today.
Matchy. Tie My Shoe is back with a $20 super chat. So getting into that PHP orange category. And Tie My Shoe writes, I didn't know I had to, quote, allow gifts. Thank you, DJP. The Bills are dumpster juice. Easy W. So
he's so nice. He's so nice. Thank you, DJP. Bills are dumpster juice.
Right? I love it. Bang. He just goes right after it. But Sarah, let's not get lost in the shuffle here. DJP's 50 spot looks like Tie My Shoe was on the receiving end of that gift. So super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this one's for you. Joe Jenkins is back.
My commitment to Bobby and Sarah and the Vault community. I'll give 10 memberships for every Ravens win this year and 50 for a Super Bowl win. Whoo! I love this channel and community. Happy 61st birthday to me. Hashtag flock. Happy birthday, Joe Jenkins.
Wow.
And wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of commitment there. And we love you, Joe. We love you. I'm glad you love the channel. The love is 100% reciprocal.
Oh, it's pouring today. I mean, look, in 1 digit off, Sarah, from the play of the day, right? Which is 60. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also, this is an unbelievable pledge for Joe. Joe, don't feel like you have to do that, but that's obviously something that we would welcome and we would more than appreciate. And more importantly, happy 61st birthday, that is, to you. And he also wanted to thank everybody, Sarah, for the wishes that have come in since he let everybody know that it's his trip around the sun today. Eric Hill, as if he hasn't already done enough, went ahead and threw a 5 spot in here. You know, the guy threw a 5 spot in. We will count it up. Believe me, we will count it up before we finish up the show. Thank you, Eric. And Joe is back, and he says, we all love and respect you, Bobby and Sarah. Hashtag fact. Feelings mutual, Joe. Again, a happy birthday to you. And Sarah, one last one before we get to quick hits.
He says those last 5 memberships are in honor of Tila. Hashtag 6K for LJ.
Awesome.
Okay.
Tila getting a little bit of love in the super chat category. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you so much, guys. Today's been exceptional. We'll get to any more that come in between now and the end. But let's rip through some quick hits, Sarah. And you brought this one in from Gordon McGinnis, and that is on the newest Raven, who John Harbaugh says, hey, expect to see him soon contributing from a special teams perspective. That's JT Gray.
Yeah, so Gordon McGinnis said that JT Gray's PFF special teams grades, well, here are his special teams grades and rank over the last 2 seasons. In 2023, his grade was 89.7th, which was 4th overall. Last year, 91.2. He only got better. Remember, I was like, why did they cut him? Is there something going on? It was just roster management. Clearly not due to his pay or play, because 91.2 is tied for the 3rd best in special teams last year. Yeah, John Harbaugh was talking about how grateful he was. Bobby, also yesterday I said, he'll be another guy to watch to see if he gets to practice immediately. And he did. He's right here. This is a video courtesy of Jamison Hensley of ESPN. He's number 48 right there doing drills. So big special teams ace. And honestly, John Harbaugh, coming from a special teams background, got JT and he also got Jake Hummel. So now he's got 2 veteran special teams guys, plus a few undrafted guys who I promise you wouldn't have made the team if he didn't believe in them being able to play on special teams.
And given what they've lost, given the underperformance from the unit as a whole, which is typically above, this is the standard of special teams in Baltimore. We know what it is. We know what John Harbaugh demands. Hasn't been good enough. And you get the sense, Sarah, that it's been sort of a concerted effort this offseason to rejuvenate that group. And ultimately, it's going to be up to Chris Horton as the coordinator. But they have the players. They have the dogs to do so. So we'll see if some of the fruits of their labor pay off for them coming up this weekend. You threw this one in from, what is this, NFL Australia?
Yeah, this is NFL Australia. And so they put up a tweet that said 32 teams, 1 goal, 1 destination, all roads lead to Super Bowl. What's LX? Are we at 50?
59,
60?
maybe?
Is it 60? No, not 9. It would be, the X is, it's got to be 60, right? This is Super Bowl 60?
What number are we? I'll get it right now.
We need to know our Roman numerals better.
Oh,
clearly.
I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible.
Pretty sure it's 60. Please let me be right. Anyway.
Yes, correct.
So,
60.
okay. So the L is 50 and X is 10. I knew the X. I just need to be refreshed on the L. But so they have all these players representing their teams. Look, you see right in front of you, Daniels. We've got Josh Allen. We've got Jordan Love. We've got Patrick Mahomes. We've got Joe Burrow. For the Ravens, representing way up front, about to cross over the Golden State Bridge. Oh, my arrow moved. My arrow is supposed to be pointing to Daniel Fa'alele. So we zoomed in here. There's Daniel right there representing the Ravens. Obviously, this is NFL Australia and New Zealand, so I'm sure that's why they have Fa'alele on there. But there are plenty of other teams that also have Australians or New Zealanders, and they still put on their main person. But but I'm sure Lamar Jackson doesn't care and is happy to give it a little love to Daniel Fa'alele. But I think some people had some fun on Twitter with that last night. Fa'alele representing the Ravens.
I'm sure. I wonder why NFL Australia decided to do that. You think they maybe thought there might be some reaction in the aftermath of that online? There certainly has been plenty of it. And you brought this one in. We shared the clip yesterday from Kyle Van Noy on his podcast talking about how he's not calling Mike or Michael Mike yet, meaning his fellow pass rusher and second round pick Mike Green out of Marshall. He's not going to call him that until he makes some splash plays. And it looks like Mike is leaning into this, Sarah, because he put up an Instagram story that you brought in.
Just this Instagram story where he has a picture of himself, Odafe Owe, and Kyle Van Noy. So he's got a caption for everybody's name. So he put Michael for himself because he hasn't earned Mike yet. But for Odafe Owe, he calls him Unc. And then for Kyle Van Noy, it's Grandpa.
Oh, man.
It's Grandpa. Pretty good for Grandpa to still be playing in the league and have double-digit sacks last year. Not bad.
Love it. Absolutely love this relationship, this dynamic, and hopefully this competitive spirit that fuels that room because they need it in January. They are continuing to dominate in the sack category and overall pressures and everything that comes with that front in the regular season. Will they show up for them and be dynamic in the postseason consistently? They need it. Chuck Smith needs it. This team needs it. Game day threads, white on black. That's what you have to look forward to. It's a classic look for the Ravens coming up on September 7th. That's this Sunday. It's an 8:20 kickoff inside Highmark Stadium. Ravens-Bills. Partner, you and I will be live hopefully before midnight for our turnaround sake the next day. But typically for primetime games, we're live right around 11:45, midnight, somewhere in there. We typically wait for the press conferences to finish up just so that we can have fresh, up-to-date content for you. But we hope that you have everything you need to join us late night coming up on Sunday in our first post-game live stream of this upcoming season. We are fired up about it. 8:20 kickoff, Sarah, on Sunday. It's an NBC broadcast.
Yeah. Oof. I'm so happy. I know PHP is going to be there. I'm kind of happy you're not going to be there so you don't get sick again. Appreciate that. But so fired up for that. And Bobby, I went over to Twitter as you were talking there. I was trying to see if any practice report stuff had come in. It hasn't, but instead I get in my feed this quote from Get Up and Dan Orlovsky. He said, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are the modern day Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Come on, Dan. What are we doing here?
Oh, man. Wow. That's quite a statement with one Super Bowl. I know they've been to two already as a duo, but just one Super Bowl so far. We'll see. We'll see about that. I tell you what, Sarah, Bill Belichick doesn't seem like he's a whole lot without Tom. Oof.
Did you see, what's the comedian's name? Bill Burr? That's his name, right?
Bill Burr. Okay.
Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Okay. He was on with on the Rich Eisen show.
Okay.
And Rich Eisen brought up Bill Belichick and his loss, and Bill Burr just like laid into
burned him. Yeah, I did. Okay. I know what you're referencing now. And he's a big New England guy too, I think. So it's probably hard for him to do so.
Yeah. And I just thought to myself, I was like, he would not have liked Bobby's commentary. Like, because Rich Eisen barely even said anything like negative. He just said, what did you think of it? So,
boy, I mean, look, let's be honest. It was ugly in New England after Tom left, right? They missed on Mac Jones. And then Drake May actually, Bill didn't even get Drake May, did he? Because Drake May is a second-year player now. And they had Gerard Mayo in there for one and done. They totally did him dirty by hiring him and then letting him go after 1 year. And then you bring in Mike Vrabel. I mean, it's been a tough post-Tom Brady era for not only Bill, but for New England. They feel like they have their guy in May. And then Bill goes to the college ranks and gets smacked. We'll see what happens, but gets smacked. They don't have a quarterback. At least they don't have the position fortified. And they got all out, laid out, Sarah, on Sunday night. That was, or on, I guess it was Monday night. That was brutal. Brutal. So
tough
more
times.
to come, though. It's 1 week. It's one game. And it's one, guy came in and had to rebuild the program. So time will tell. We'll see if he gets the last laugh. But there are a lot of people laughing in his face right now.
Well, it is interesting. Like, it kind of puts into perspective a little bit of Mike Tomlin, because he won a Super Bowl when he had a franchise quarterback, but he's never had a losing season.
Yes.
Bill Belichick obviously had all those Super Bowls with Tom Brady, but he couldn't keep his team the way Mike, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of like from the outside looking in, I know that Steelers fans are over Mike Tomlin, similar to the way some Ravens fans are over John Harbaugh, but it's like he didn't fall off the way Bill Belichick did when he lost his franchise quarterback.
Bill Justice and Toey Faree, thank you both for believing in what we're building. This is your monthly shout out because of the support that you give us through Patreon. So thanks for being part of the community. If you guys are interested in doing the same this football season, it's a great way to support the program. Ravens Vault podcast, or excuse me, patreon.com/Ravens Vault podcast. That direct link is in the show notes. And Sarah, as you just referenced a little while ago, it's now hit the timeline. It looks like it's back-to-back DNPs for Pat Ricard and Isaiah Likely, who are both trending towards not playing on Sunday night, according to this injury report, the unofficial one. It's from the beat reporter community, the Brian Wackers, the Bo Smokers that were first on it.
Mm-hmm.
Two key players for the Ravens, not practicing back-to-back days.
And Jair Alexander is back for a second day.
Good.
Yeah, it feels like the other two are very doubtful at this point.
Yeah.
Jair in good position.
Yep. And can you imagine if he play? I mean, they're going to want to be careful with him. I would assume he's going to be on somewhat of a pitch count. It'll be the first time he's played organized regular season football since undergoing that, procedure for the PCL tear. But what a good piece of encouraging news for the former All-Pro corner. And just on our way out here, guys, if you would like to support the show and go check out our apparel line, you can do so by visiting thevaultpod.com/shop, whether it's t-shirts, sweatshirts and hoodies, crew necks, tank tops, bucket hats, golf polos, snapbacks, beanies. We got it all on here. Koozies for both a high noon type can or just like, a traditional beer, mugs, magnets, stickers. We're going to continue adding to this thing as we go. If you want to give some feedback, go visit your email inbox and just email us at BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com. We will forward that feedback over to Carly, and we thank you in advance. Appreciate you guys so much. Seeing more
Bobby,
and more Sarah pull into our inbox and DMs, and we keep getting tagged in merch that people are getting for the season, which is always exciting.
Awesome. Love that. Bobby, since you seem to be, interested in Bill Belichick news, little news just hit my timeline if you'd like to hear about it.
Okay.
Ari Mirov reports Bill Belichick has banned Patriot scouts from attending UNC practices to scout their players. NFL scouts in general have faced hurdles scouting UNC players so far under Belichick's tenure at North Carolina. Ari goes on to say, this is the latest petty move by Bill Belichick. And in the big picture, it only hurts his players and future recruits.
Whoa. Yeah, that's quite an indication of the rift that clearly happened between Robert Kraft and Belichick towards the end of their tenure together. I saw that Kraft was just asked about a future Belichick statue, and he said that when Bill is done coaching, he'll have one right next to Tom's statue that they unveiled earlier this offseason. But that seems like a pretty ugly relationship there. That's clearly a fractured one at this time. So,
Too bad.
Too bad indeed. A couple more super chats before we jump. We left off with Eric. Lewis says offense, defense, and special teams for the win, with a couple hearts. Thanks, Lewis. And look at him with his Vault gear on, both the beanie and the t-shirt, which is awesome to see. And Sarah, this one's for you from Eric. He's not done yet.
Eric just keeps giving. If we go in not at 100% roster-wise, and with these next few games, the league is in for brutal times against the Ravens. Hashtag I believe. Hashtag Voltrons are the best.
Aren't they ever? And they certainly have been today. I see a lot of people thanking JPJ, or no, hold on a second. Oh, DJP, excuse me. Yeah, okay. Devin Jean-Pierre and PHP and everybody else, Ponda Q here, or Ponda GQ, noting that was gifted a membership yesterday. So congratulations to your official status. And Sarah, I just made sure to just get one quick count in here. We started at 5:36. We end the day at 6:43, and I don't even think that's updated fully because we got over 100 for sure in this.
Oh yeah, because there were two 50s, and there was a 20, which was matching another 20.
Correct. So we'll get that updated number tomorrow. But right now it's 6:43. We started at 5:36, and that number is going to be even north of 650 because of all your generosity today. All right.
Looks like another one just came in from Eric, of all people.
Goodness. Just
imagine that.
Win.
Just win.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Win. Oh, we were both on the same page with that one.
Thank you, Eric. And thank you all for just a awesome, fantastic. I feel like I got to go take a nap after this one. Wow, that was quite the taxing live stream in terms of vocals and energy levels. But you guys are incredible, and we look forward to doing it again tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern. I'll be solo streaming on the Bobby Baltimore side of things coming up later this afternoon. And thank you to our sponsor, Primary Residential Mortgage, for supporting the show and adding in a little giveaway this month, which is a $100 Fanatics gift card to Baltimore's team store. You can visit more in the show notes and also as a pinned comment if you'd like to enter yourself into that giveaway. So for Sarah Ellison, for Primary Residential Mortgage, I'm Bobby Trossett signing off from this Thursday show. We will have a Buffalo guest, Mike Katana, joining us tomorrow. Looking forward to the Bills' perspective and getting ready for week 1 of this NFL season. Like the video on your way out, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and come join us at Friday, noon, right here inside the Vault. Thank you, Voltrons, and we will catch up with you soon.